Ooh. G'day guys, welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 Start from Scratch series on Haut-Beyleron. So it's early winter, or middle of winter now. Sheep are looking good, nice and healthy. Still only 12 of them though. Let's have a check and see how much wool they've got. Not quite enough yet, so we've got a pallet and a little bit. But we will just let that build up and we'll sell that when the price is right. We've got heaps of silage here. This is 65% fermented, and we'll have some more over here on the trailer, which is pretty good. That's ready to be sold. But also, because it's January, we got the lettuce, which is due to be sold as well. So we've already loaded up everything onto the trailer. Let's just check the price just to make sure we're going to get a good price here. So we're talking 1100 per pallet, which is pretty good going. Got a full trailer load here, so we'll shoot on down to the store, get rid of this straight away. That's going to boost up our money a little bit. We are dwindling on cash, but the greenhouse is definitely a relatively good source of income. Maybe we should get a second one though, just to boost us even more. Well, here we go, we're at the store. We've got 9,000 litres on board. 1100-ish per pallet per 1,000, so we should be looking pretty good. We should be looking at about nearly 10,000 roughly. There we go, 9,900. That is definitely not too bad going, considering all you have to do is top it up with water every now and again and it kind of just pays for itself, so perfect. Well, now we're back at the farm, but we've got a whole trailer load of silage here to go and sell, and that's going to be quite a considerable income for us. Silage is a good money maker. Trying to debate whether we save up to buy a new field, because this field here is actually really good. It's quite flat at the top end, like where I've got the sheep and the honey. It's actually quite flat, so this would be a really good place for us to put all of our animals, as in chickens and cows and whatnot. And it might be a better idea to get ourselves a bigger field where we can maybe plant grass or a different crop, and that will guarantee us a lot more income. We could still use half of the field that we have here for silage as well, but silage is kind of our main source of cash at the moment. So here we go, we're at the store. We've got a full load of bales here, 24 silage bales. It's normally around 24 to 26,000 dollars of cash. But the annoying thing is this trailer here is just slightly too big to fit it in the trailer, in the trigger. So I always like to try and just get one big lump sum of income, but I can't, or I haven't managed to succeed with that just yet, because if you see here, it just doesn't quite slip off as one, so it just gives us more than, so there we go, we got 19, 2, 3 and 1, so we got just over 25,000 there, which is a good source of income. But if you can imagine that field right in front of us now, if I planted that with grass, we would be looking at a serious amount of income from the silage, whereas right now we're having to work ourselves to the bone for it. So we just finished grabbing up the last of our silage bales, which are not quite fermented yet, but when they are fermented we will go and sell these as well. Bank balance is starting to look a little bit better as well actually, so that's a good positive for us. And also the honey will be due to be sold in the next month or two. I think it was around March maybe for honey. Silage, I just want to check when the right price is. I know there's not really a massive difference in silage. I'm just going to find where silage is. There we go. Yeah, the difference is really next to nothing, and right now seems to be a pretty good time. It's only going to go down from here though, but that's not really too big of a deal. Let's check up on our other field. So we do have some weeds growing. It's not really too big of an issue. We haven't planted anything yet. When the time comes, we will plant. We need to do some rolling, but we're probably not going to be doing that. So what we're going to plant is wheat. So September, October is perfect. But there's a long way for us to go until we can actually plant that field. Looks like we kind of just missed out on doing that, and that's pretty much going to take up a whole year as well to grow, a good 10 months. But we are going to be getting chickens. That's why we want to grow the wheat. Here's finances. Trying to repay 5,000 at least every month to try and reduce the debt that we have. You can see that we've been pretty busy, done a fair few contracts, or trying to do as many contracts as possible when we're not busy, but we're doing all right. Seem to be losing more. Well, there's a lot of red there, but we are actually making money and we're just investing in ourselves. So there's a few things we want to buy. Oh, here we go, we've got a good contract here, 20,800. It's a big equipment. If we use it, we're going to lose 4,400. We do have a cultivator, so I think we should do that with our own cultivator. Might take a little bit longer, but for 20,000, you can't really turn that down. So we'll drive over to the other field where we have the shed and we'll grab the cultivator. We'll head over there. That's where we'll spend the rest of January at least. Well, here we are, we're at the contract field. It's looking like a pretty big job, but 20 grand, to make 20 grand in 1 month, aside from selling our own goods, is not really a bad price. That's a very good wage in my opinion. But this field's massive. It's not even loading in the is that an old cotton crop? It's not even loading in the crop. But we can at least see the outline of the field. I don't think I'm going to time lapse this, and I'm kind of regretting using my own equipment for this. My tractor, I think I might even run out of fuel. But we'll plough through it, so to speak, with a cultivator. We'll get the job done. I won't time lapse this because it's going to be far too much. It's going to take a very long time, so I will jump cut all of this, but I will do it all by myself. I might employ a worker if I need to take a break, but I'll jump back to you when we finish the job, and we'll get 20 grand for this. Well, we're nearly coming to the end of it now. We can't be far away from it. The time's progressed quite a bit. I actually had to play it on real time because of how long it was taking me. We've missed a few spots here and there, but this field's so bloody big, it doesn't really matter. There we go, we completed it. Thank Christ for that. So 20,853, all mine. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Probably the biggest field on the map actually, and we did that with a very small cultivator. We are going to head back up to the farm, and I think I'm going to progress a couple of months, probably off camera. I need to sell the honey, and there's not really much else to do, but I'll find some contracts in between. Well, here we are, we're in June, and we are back. So we are going to load up the trailer from the new silo. And we also have a new trailer there, as you can see. I got that in the sale. Very good price. We have some stuff to sell here, so we are going to load up with the soybeans and the corn. And we're going to sell it right in front of us where we are on the map here. So there we go. We've got close to 9,000 litres of soybeans, which is going to be at a good price. Or at least I hope. It's the best time of year to be selling. And I'm hoping that we're going to get a good bit of cash from this. We've done another couple of contracts in between, a little bit of harvesting and cultivating. We're holding up the traffic here, but not to worry, all good. So we've got nearly 10,000 for the soybeans, and we have almost a full trailer load of corn here, but corn is not quite as valuable. So I'm not actually sure how much we're going to get. I think it's around 550 for 1,000 litres. So it looks like a lot, but I don't think it's going to be much in terms of profit here. And that's my fault for planting the corn in the first place, but we've got to let that slide. Yeah, so 5,000 for the corn, 10,000 for the soybeans. So that's the income from all of our harvesting from last year, but it could have been worse. So what we're going to do is we're going to park up the trailer, and then I think I'm going to again go away, do a couple of more contracts off screen, and then I'll come back when the time is right to do the planting in this field here. And I hope that I can plant over the weeds rather than having to cultivate before we do that. And we're back. It's time to do the planting. So what we need to do is buy ourselves a seeder. Now I have had a look on ModHub and I found a couple of seeders. There's nothing in the sales in terms of a seeder, but we definitely need one. The in-game ones or the vanilla are quite expensive, so we'll go with one of these two here, which I thought was more than reasonable. Not too bad. I think we should go with the slightly larger one. We will have the extension on that. It will save me having to reseed or put more seed in. We don't really need tram iron markers. Handrail. Well, we're not standing on the back, we don't need that. Roller harrow, 2 grand more. No thank you. Ridge markers, no. No license plate either. And we will purchase that. That is not a bad deal for us. So let's shoot on down to the store. Get that picked up. We'll come back up and we'll do the planting. Now we do have a little bit of seed in the shed here. How much do we have? Well, we don't have much there. Can't see what's in the planter. And we also have another bag up here. Okay, so I'm not sure if that's going to be enough to do the job. So I think we'll pick up the seeder. We'll fill the seeder with a bag at least from the store. And we'll just keep the other stuff in reserve. We'll get through it eventually, but it would be good to make sure we have enough to do the job. We don't want to have to go back to the shop in between now and when we finish the job. That's for sure. Well, just some finishing touches now. We've done the whole field. It's been a very long job, but we actually managed to do that just on one tank of seed. So that's pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. We'll boost over to the shed here, and the seeds that are sitting out we will just top up the machine with, I think, maybe. Would be a good idea before we put it away. There's also a bag of fertilizer just hanging out as well. We'll make sure that we do that because we do have to do an application of fertilizer on here now, because the seeder does not apply fertilizer as we go, so we will have to do a double application of fert, but we'll actually have to do that over 2 separate months, which is fine. We'll put narrow tires on this tractor though. I don't think it matters too much. I don't think you destroy the crop with these type of tires if you catch the first growth stage, but not to worry, we will do it for a realism effect. And we'll top up the fertilizer spreader here. Shouldn't be too much of a job for us because this has an incredible spread. It's 42 meters or something. Very large spread for such a small piece of kit. Hopefully that's going to reach the outside. There it is, just about. Actually plenty of room. But I think maybe 3 or 4 passes with this fert spreader, and that's going to be more than enough. Now I do really want to get chickens because that's the whole purpose of planting wheat in this field. We won't have to purchase any food for them. This field here will primarily just be for traffic. Yeah, this field here will be solely for the purpose of the chickens, and it will also give us straw, so we can bale that up and we can sell it. That's another source of income. Not a big source of income, but it's another source nonetheless. Definitely going to take it if we can. You might as well. We'll keep a bale or two every now and again because we want to be looking at getting cows as well. And once we get cows, we're going to be producing milk, slurry, manure. That's going to save us money on fertilizing. We won't have to buy any more fertilizer. So one more pass. I think it's starting to look pretty cool, the field and the farms in general. The grass field definitely is just a little bit awkward. I don't really know what to do up there at the moment. Like I said, I think it would be good for using for animals and greenhouses perhaps. Definitely want to get another greenhouse or two just to boost up that income. And I think that field is big enough to house a cow pasture as well at some point. But if we're growing chickens on this field here, maybe it's worth having a chicken coop on this part of the property as well. So we'll just put the fertilizer spreader back. It's good that it's raining here because that's actually cleaned my tractor for me. It's long overdue a clean. Now that's not a bag of fertilizer back there. I think that is a line left over from the field. So let's just take a look. We have to wait 10 months. But that is growing now. And fertilized. Now wool. Best price is in May-ish. Right now is obviously the worst time, of course. But how much wool do we actually have? Let's jump up to the farm here, to our house. Now we're going to have a lot more than the last time you would have seen. Yeah, so we have 4,000 and half a pallet. And we also have new sheep. They have been breeding. And a full trailer of silage. Not quite ready to be sold, but we will sell that when the time comes. And we have more grass to cut. Got a new shed here as well. We've tidied it up. Everything is looking pretty damn good. I'm quite happy with that. Keeping an eye out in the used sale machinery. used machinery sales, should I say. Now that might actually be quite handy, because we are going to be doing quite a bit of tree work. And a roller would also be handy. It gives us extra yield on our crop. But I am not sure if we should get that just yet. That's a pretty good price. But I do feel like our money could be better spent elsewhere. There's a few harvesting contracts available. We've actually done a few harvesting contracts already, and we do have some, I think it's wheat and silo, wheat and sorghum, yeah. So we've got just over 10,000 litres available, which means that we could purchase chickens now and probably have enough food to feed them up until my wheat field becomes ready to harvest. So a chicken coop is everything that we have in the bank account. But where is going to be a good place to put it? I don't know. This part of the land is just a bit humpy and bumpy, and it's just a little bit funny. We could do it. We could do it here. We could level this ground up a little bit, and we could do that. I think it's definitely something I need to think about over the next couple of months in game. But as for now, I think we're going to leave it there, guys, and we will come back to you fairly soon. There's not really anything for us to do in between now and when the crop is going to be ready, apart from selling stuff again. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.